Okay, I'm going to show you the fastest possible way that there is to learn to play the guitar. Guaranteed all your money back, okay? And when I say play the guitar, I don't mean playing lead. I mean I'm going to show you the fastest way possible to play the guitar, to play the chords, all the chords that you need to play just about every popular song down through the ages, right? And what I'm going to teach you is the secret Busker's technique for playing songs. And with this technique, you can play hundreds of thousands, probably millions of songs, alright? Okay, it's the secret Busker's technique, and it's all done in normal tuning. And with this technique, we are going to make all the chords with only two fingers. We only move two fingers, believe it or not, okay? And we only need to learn to make 3 shapes with these 2 fingers. And that's it. Okay? Just 2 fingers move, and we make 3 shapes, and that gives us all the chords we need to play all the busking songs, and loads more besides, right? And the other thing about this technique is that it makes your guitar ring out louder than playing the normal way of playing chords, okay? And you can also think of this as like the American and Canadian folk and country technique, because it's like country and folk singers down through the ages have used this technique to play the clubs, busk and write their songs, alright? So before I'll show you how to do it, I'll just show you, I'll just play a little selection of snippets of songs to give you an idea of the kind of range of songs you can play with this technique. And as I do it, notice I only move these 2 fingers, because with this technique it's about the pivot. These 2 here stay anchored to the fretboard, so our hand never leaves the fretboard. Not like playing normally where you make a chord and then you take all the fingers off and move them, and take all the fingers off and move them. These 2 stay here, they don't move, and we just make the chords making just 3 shapes with these 2 fingers, alright? So a little selection, and I don't know all the words for these, so you know, I'll just bluff it where I don't know. But you can play loads and loads and loads of songs. It's about getting the money in the hat, alright? So you can play most Bob Marley songs like Said I remember when we used to sit in the government yards in Trenchtown. Yeah, or you could play Oh pirates, yes they rob I, sold out to the merchant ships, minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. Yeah, or you could play Woke up this morning, smile with the rising sun, 3 little birds said, or you can even play natural mystic and things like that. You just play the chaps. Yeah, there's a natural mystic flowing through the air. And you can play Bob Dylan, but you've got to put your wow 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 Bob Dylan voice on, you know. Mama, take these guns off of me, I can't wow 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 wow. You know what I mean? Or you can play wow 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 the wow wow my friends is blowing in the wind, the answer is wow wow in the wind. I'll tell you, I actually saw Dylan live once, and all you could hear was wow 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 wow. You could not hear a single lyric he sung, you know what I mean? You can play Oasis. Today is gonna be the day that they bring it on back to you. By now you should have realized exactly what you gotta do. Yep. You can play Tracy Chapman. Don't you know we're talking about a revolution sound? I whisper. You can play even the Pistols. Submission for you, baby. I see you on my TV screen. Oops, screen. La 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 la. The way you move your way. Submission. I don't know what I found. I was actually busking that in an underpass in Geneva yonks ago. Busking the Pistols submission, and 2 rich ladies in massive fur coats walked up, and they had little yappy dogs, and they stopped and opened their purse, and they gave me a 2.5 franc piece, man, which in those days was a £5, and it fed me for 2 days nearly. Yeah, you can do the Pistols, you can do Elton John. Goodbye Norma Jean, though I never knew you were toy, and la 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 la, all those around you grow. And it seemed to me you live your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to turn to when the rain came in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. A candle burned out long before the legend ever did. You can do. My name is Luca, I live on the second floor, you know. They only hit it till you cry. After but you don't ask why. You just don't argue anymore. You just don't argue anymore. You just don't argue anymore. You can do Joni Mitchell. And a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. You could even do, he comes for conversation, comfort him sometimes, coffee and conversation, he knows that's what he'll find. Yeah. And you can do just about every John Prine song ever written, because he uses this technique, you know. When I was a boy, my family would travel back to Western Kentucky where my parents were born, you know. All these songs you can do. You can do Gordon Lightfoot, in the early morning rain, with a suitcase in my hand. Oh, I don't know the words, but you know. You can jump a jet plane like you can a freight train in the early morning rain. Doom, doom, doom. You know, if you don't know Lightfoot, check him out, because Dylan was a huge fan of Gordon Lightfoot. And you know, you can play all your rock and roll medleys. Oh, you can play The Who. And no one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. And then the chorus is, but my dreams, they are as empty as my conscience seems to be. I spent hours on and on. My fate is vengeance. Whatever. You can do Deep Purple, Soldier of Fortune, you know, but you got to put your Coverdale voice on you. I have often told him stories about the time. Yeah, you got to put your Coverdale voice on. I live my life as a drifter, waiting for the day, you know, when I take your hand and sing a song, maybe you would say, you know, in that one. And the little bit goes, but I feel I'm growing older. The chorus. And the songs that I have sung echo in the distance like the sound of a windmill going round. I guess I'll always be a soldier of fortune. And you can play James Taylor, you know, it was just after sunrise. It was just after sunrise, and down by the sea, down on the sand flats where nothing will grow, come drumming in footsteps like out of a dream, where the golden green waters come. But you don't have to put that little lick at the end. You can do tell you about Machine Gun Kelly. He rode along the outlaw trail. Machine Gun Kelly was a simple man, but his woman was as hard as hell. Watch out, machine gun, don't let her run you round. Don't let a woman put you 6 feet in the ground. Machine gun. You can do, hey mister, that's me upon the jukebox. lot of his songs. You could probably even do Jackson Browne. I don't really know him, but you can do like maybe you can do Running on Empty, running on, running blind. Well, I'm running along, but I'm running behind. Oh bloody hell, that's a high note. Oh. Do you know what I mean? And you can do your rock and roll medleys, you know. Bye bye love, hello loneliness, oh my sweet caress, I think I'm gonna die. And you can do, here's a Busker's classic special, you do Twist and Shout. Shake it up baby now, shake it up baby, twist and shout, and then you do the but when you do the last you come back in with La Bamba, la 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 bamba, da 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 la 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 la. You know what I mean? So that's another one the crowd loves, that when you go from Twist and Shout to La Bamba. And you can do, you know, stars are ship here and the shadows are falling. I can hear my heart calling. A little bit of lip, let me get the thing right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. Oh my love, oh my, you know, you can do. I've been working all summer just to try to earn $1. You know, endless songs, right? The Busker technique. And now I'll show you how to do it. It's about the pivot, as I say. The pivot, this is the key. You take your little pinky and you put it on the thinnest string just behind the 3rd fret. 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, just there. Okay? And you put the ring finger above it on the next string. Like that, and this is your pivot. And these two are the ones that are going to cause you the most pain because they never get lifted off. Or well, when you get into doing the D shape and taking the pinky on and off, the pinky gets lifted occasionally, but otherwise these are your anchor and they stay there. So these are going to give you the most pain, especially as these fingers rarely get used, except for maybe, I don't know, picking your nose or something. You know what I mean? So they're the softest, and look at the lines on these. Oh my God, I mean agony. Now I've been playing for decades, but I do not practice. If you don't practice, your fingers go soft. So you will have to go through a certain amount of pain, but do not overdo this. Don't get all macho and go, oh, I can take the pain. When it starts to hurt, stop and take them off. This is about little and often until you build the strength in the tips of your fingers. They get tougher, the tips of your fingers, then it stops hurting, right? So these two are going to hurt the most, and these are the key, the pivot. So you put those two on there and then practice pivoting around with the others. So take the other two fingers and move them forward towards the whole of the guitar, back, forward, back, down, up, forward, back, down, up, and keep the pivot around on those two fingers. You can do this without even playing. Practice moving around the pivot without the pivot moving. Don't let it slide up like that or slide back. And after a while it'll start to hurt. Take the fingers off, you'll see the lines, wait, have a little rest. Oh my God, that hurts. Put them back. There's your pivot. And then you just use these two fingers to make 3 different shapes. This shape, which goes from there, moves up, moves back, moves back. Always the same shape. It just moves up a string, back a string, back a string. This shape, which moves between there, and the D shape. That's it. So the first shape, you put your pointy finger on the 2nd thickest string behind the 1st, 2nd fret. Don't put it on the fret or right back here, right? So just there. Then the flip them off finger, you know, hey buddy, up yours, right? Well, put your anchor on first, then put the pointy finger there on the 2nd string behind the 2nd thickest string behind the 2nd fret. And now watch, just let this flip them off finger, let it just flop down naturally onto the keyboard, and watch. It just naturally flops down and falls on the string above this finger and forward a fret, so behind the 3rd fret. Naturally it just flops down there like that, easy peasy. Okay, so the first shape is that finger there and that finger there. Then that shape moves up a string. You just move each finger up a string, back a string, back a string, up a string, and that's all you do. So there's your first 3 chords with that shape. Okay, there and there. You move the shape up, back, and you've got G, move the shape up, C, move the shape up, F, move the shape back 1 step, C, move it back another step, G. And the only other thing is you've got to learn which string to begin strumming from. And with this shape, when it moves up, back and back, you always strum from the string this finger's on. So when it's in the first position there, this shape, playing G, you strum from this string. G, then you move the shape up. And then you don't play the thick string, you play from this one. C, then move the shape up and play from this string. Don't play these two. F, C, G. So what you're doing is you're taking that shape there and there. You're moving it up to the next pair of strings, so you've got that and that. Moving it up to the next pair of strings, so you've got that and that. Moving it back, so you've got that and that. Moving it back, so you've got that and that. Simple, huh? There's your first three chords. G, C, F, C, G. Okay? Now there are going to be guitar players out there checking this video out. The fastest way to learn to play guitar, I'd better check that out because I know all about playing the guitar. And I'll tell you, right now, there's going to be people out there watching this video going, but that's not G. That's not G, that's G11 or G13 or whatever, or that's G suspended fourth, augmented fifth, flattened, diminished, Who bloody cares, right? Who bloody cares? Forget those guys. Okay, so, that's your first shape, there to there, to there, to there, to there, alright? Next shape, even easier. These two fingers stuck together and just whack them there like that, yeah? Or there, doesn't matter because they just jump between there and there. So behind the second fret, both together, and they jump from there to there, there to there, there to there. Simple, easy peasy. Put your pivot on, and you've got E. Move the shape up a string. Don't play the thickest string, play the one above this finger. A. E. A, and there's a song already. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It feels good to be out on the range. Okay. Easy peasy. Just two fingers stuck together, moving up a string, back a string, up a string, back a string. And there's your E and your A. And I know expert guitar players, it's not really E major or minor, and it's not really A major or minor, but we don't give a stuff, alright? That's your second shape. Your last shape, this is quite cool this actually, because check this out. See you flip them off finger, right? Have a look at it there, right? And between the knuckle there and the tip of the finger, there's a dent. Right, there's a dent there, and this finger, the pointy finger, naturally fits in that dent like that, like a jigsaw puzzle fitted together. And you take that and you just go like this. Hey, those fingers come together naturally, yeah, and they just fit those two strings there. This finger on that string, and this finger on the thinnest string, missing out the second thinnest altogether. Now, there you go, there's your last shape, and the anchor goes on in front of it. D. Do not play these two thick strings, only play this one. And then you play that and you just practice bringing the pinky on and off. Pinky off, on and off, and on and off, and on. And when you get more confident, you can start bringing this pinky lift in and out when you play, you know. But you don't need to do that straight away. The thing about playing this D chord like this with the anchor on here is don't try and play this thin string too much. This one, okay, the little thinnest string. Don't try and overemphasize playing that string. Try and, when you strum this chord, right, try and only strum these two strings and this string, the second thinnest. Those three. Try not to make that one ring out too much. So. Okay, don't play like this, just playing the top, you know, this part of the chord. Make sure you're mostly hitting that string, and that string. And then you can lift the pinky off and on and off and on, and then have a rest, you know. Always rest. Don't wear these two little fingers out there because you're going to get those lines and you're going to be in real pain. Don't overdo it. Little and often is the secret. Okay, so there you go, there's your three shapes. That shape, which just moves up, up, back and back. That shape, which moves from there to there, and the D. And then the anchor stays in the same place all the time. So there, G, C, F, E, A, D. There you go. And to practice, you don't even have to strum. You just put your anchor on, make the first shape, and then practice moving that shape up, moving it up, moving it back, moving it back, moving it up, moving it up, moving it back, moving it back. Once you got used to doing that, try jumping over the middle position and jumping back. Jump over, jump back, jump over, jump back. Then go up, up and jump over back. Up, up and jump over back. Or start at the first position, jump over and back, back. Jump over and back, back. Okay? And then when you got used to doing that, try working between these two like that shape in its two different positions. And then, you know, start moving around between the different shapes. You don't even have to play to practice. You don't have to strum. You don't have to make a noise and annoy your flatmates or neighbours. Just go like that, 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 then to there, back to there, back to there, then to there, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, there, 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 there. Just move between all the permutations, right? There you go. It's that easy. Okay? That's the Busker's technique. But the other thing is, make sure your nails are cut. They've got to be cut short. Shorter than the tips of your fingers, okay? Because when you push down with the tip of your finger, it gets squashed in, look. Okay, so make sure your fingernails are shorter than the tips of your fingers, so that when your finger gets pushed flat, the fingernail does not stick out over the edge of the flattened tip of the finger. Yeah? And don't over practice this, for God's sake, alright? Because if you over practice, what will happen is under the tips of your fingers they'll bruise. You won't see a bruise, but they'll be, on the next day, you won't even be able to press the fingers onto the keyboard. You will not. You'll be in agony. Alright? So little and often, little and often, little and often is the key here. Until these two, this anchor gets toughened up. It takes about a week. If you practice really regularly, little and often, every day. And then these two get toughened up, because these are the ones that get crushed onto the two thin strings all the time. They're the ones that give you the most pain. These two that move around making the chords, they regularly lift off, so they get relief from the agonising pain of the steel strings. Do you know what I mean? There you go. So there's your technique, the Busker's secret technique, and it rings out so loud. I mean, if I play the normal way of playing G, C, D, it sounds like this. Oh, hang on. Now that is not as loud and singing out as this. Yeah, so it's also about when you're busking, making the really nice ringing sonorous noise, you know, really loud, that draws the crowd in and stuff. Yeah, and trust me, you can play endless songs and write your own, of course. So there you go. There's your Busker's technique. So I hope that's useful, and now go and write a song. See ya.